Dr Hilary is with us. Now, it's so common, isn't it? The worst thing I would imagine is you think you're the only one.
Absolutely. You feel isolated,
yes,
very isolated.
Yes.
You feel guilty, you feel inadequate, you feel you can't cope, that people are going to judge you. It's none of those things. It's not your fault. That's really important. It affects 1 in 10, at least 1 in 10, probably more than that, women in the first year after a baby's been born. And the feelings they have can be pretty awful. And of course it doesn't just impinge on them and affect them, it affects themselves, it affects the baby, it affects the relationship with their partner, and it can have all these sort of far-reaching repercussions which, unless you deal with it, can last quite a long time. However, with the right help, and there's plenty of help out there, you can reverse it.
What should you be looking out for? Because obviously, you know, it's the most incredible life-changing experience that's just happened to you. You're overwhelmed completely.
Absolutely, stressful.
What should you be looking out for, or indeed people around you?
Yes, I think the first thing to look for that persistent sadness in somebody. They can't seem to derive any joy in life. All the interests that they normally have gone out of the window, so they're not getting any joy, and they might be crying a lot, so tearfulness for no good reason. I think the next thing is that sleeping patterns can be badly disturbed, so they're not sleeping at night, but they're feeling exhausted throughout the day. So those two things, sleeplessness and exhaustion. Then I think this feeling that you're not bonding with your baby. You're either worrying unduly about every little thing about your baby, but you feel that the baby's a stranger. You're not really... The baby isn't yours, the baby isn't close to you, there's this disconnect. And that can make women feel really bad about themselves, so that bonding. And that can spill over in extreme cases to actually thinking about harming your baby, you know, because the world is such a bad place that you don't want your baby to be in this bad place. If it gets to that stage, it's really quite severe and serious, and you must, in any of those circumstances, talk to your people nearest to you, your partner, your friends, people you trust, GP, health visitor. There's plenty of help out there. And as we saw in that peer support group, that's brilliant.
That's
because
really
you realise you're not alone.
I really like that. It's very good. We've, as you would imagine, got lots of questions from our viewers. First up is Gemma. Gemma's from Shropshire. Gemma's mum to Rory. Rory's 2, and Gemma suffered from postnatal depression. Gemma, good morning to you. What is it you want to ask Dr Hilary?
I wanted to ask Dr Hilary, if I was to have another baby, me and my husband do, would I suffer with postnatal depression again, as I'm quite concerned about that, because I had no bond with my son. And also, I'd feel guilty if I did have another baby. Would I get that initial bond with the baby? But also, I'd feel guilty that I didn't get that bond with Rory, as it was a difficult time.
Gemma, I completely understand, and I can understand your anxiety about having another baby and getting postnatal depression again. It's a common worry, and what comes through there is you've got a lot of guilt there, which you needn't have. This wasn't your fault. This was a condition over which you had no control, and you're going to be fine. The GP is going to be aware, the health visitor is going to be aware, and all these feelings of guilt about you didn't bond as well as you might have done with Rory. You love Rory because you're conscious of it. You haven't forgotten that. You're probably compensating more now and loving him even more. So don't worry about Rory. Rory will be fine. The new baby, you'll be so in tune with your feelings and talking about your feelings with other people that it's much less likely to occur. Even though physiologically you might be a little bit predisposed to it, you'll be so on it that I don't think it'll be a problem. And I want you to enjoy this pregnancy and the labour and the first year of your next baby's life, because you can and you will, I'm sure.
Gemma, thank you, and good luck. Do let us know what happens. Thank you so much. And of course, you were saying, Hilary, it doesn't only affect women. We've got a question from Rob. Rob is the husband of Kirsty, one of the women that was talking to Andrea.
Right.
And Rob's well, he says he's a male sufferer of postnatal depression, and his question is, why are men overlooked? I wasn't asked how I felt. And that's actually true. Sometimes men get kind of ignored a little.
Of course they do. The focus is on the mum. And men go through the same challenge, the same stress of having a new baby. They've got responsibilities of being a young dad. They've got responsibilities financially. There's this new child in their life. The relationship with their partner's changed. Of course men get paternal depression or male postnatal depression and feel the similar sort of symptoms that women can. And whilst people say, oh, don't believe it, they haven't gone through all the childbirth.
Indeed.
They have everything else to worry about.
course.
And about 1 in 25 men will get paternal depression to some extent, particularly prone if mum's got it as well, because they're both in this together. And about 1 in 3 new dads will admit to having some kind of concern about mental health. 1 in 3. So we do need to look after dads as well, include them in the whole
Yes.
process. If they can go to antenatal classes, learn as much about the pregnancy and looking after and dads, do little things, changing the nappy, bathing the baby.
Do your
you
share.
get closer
Yeah,
and you
that's
feel
true.
more part of it
That makes
and less
perfect
neglected.
sense. Hilary, thank you, as
Pleasure.
always.